Slang Through the Ages, a Historical Perspective. Chapter 4, Gendered Slang Differences. The Boys Club, slang that men use and sometimes misuse. The world of slang is like a secret club where the members have their own lingo. And for the most part, it's a boys' club. You know the type, a group of guys huddled together throwing around terms that sound like they were created in a lab for maximum confusion. It's a linguistic playground where the words are as slippery as a banana peel. And if you're not careful, you might find yourself nodding along to a conversation that sounds more like a foreign language than English. Whether it's lit, salty, or the ever mysterious flex, guys have a knack for taking perfectly good words and turning them into something that requires a decoder ring to understand. Remember those? I think decoder rings came in Cracker Jacks, I do believe. Anyway, let's dive into the funny world of male slang, where the meanings of words can shift faster than a sports car on a racetrack. Take sick, for example. In the world of teenage boys, if something is sick, it's not a matter of health, it's a compliment. Meanwhile, if an older gentleman uses the same term, he might just be expressing genuine concern for your well-being. It's like they're speaking two different dialects of the same language. And don't get us started on dope. One minute, it's a prized possession of the coolest kid in school, and the next, it's a nostalgic throwback to the days of yore when it actually described something entirely different. And really, modern slang needs to go past Gen Z and into Gen Alpha. Blobbity blobbity. Skibbity. Then there's the art of misusing slang, which is practically an Olympic sport in itself. Picture this, a well-meaning dad trying to connect with his teenage son, dropping terms like fire to describe the latest video game. But instead of applause, he gets a face palm and an eye roll that could launch a spacecraft. The gap between generations is a chasm, and sometimes the bridge is made of all the words that have lost their meaning along the way. It's a classic case of dad trying too hard, which can lead to a whole new set of slang. Cringe, lit, and no cap. All of which might leave him wondering if he just ordered a pizza or joined a gang. And part of what makes slang so fun is misusing it. And that's how slang gets started in a lot of ways, is using words in ways that they weren't necessarily designed for, just for fun. Slang is just people having fun. And let's not forget the gender differences in slang. For some reason, men have developed a language that often revolves around food, sports, and questionable life choices, while women seem to have a whole different vocabulary related to feelings, relationships, and, well, more feelings. And not really all that sound life choices. Women make questionable life choices as well, especially in their choice of men, and women get plenty drunk. Women have more and more male spirit. But anyway, more on that later. It's like guys are running around in their own mini universe where bro and dude are the official greetings, while women are crafting sentences filled with emotional depth and a sprinkle of sarcasm. If you were to listen in on a conversation between the two, you might think they're discussing two entirely different topics. And in a way, they probably are. In the end, the boys' club of slang is a wild and wonderful world where words are tossed around like confetti, creating a colorful tapestry of communication that's often as baffling as it is entertaining. Men may be the kings of their slang castle, but every now and then an outsider stumbles in, raising eyebrows and shaking heads. So whether you're an aficionado of the latest male slang or just a curious observer trying to navigate the minefield of modern language, remember that the Boys Club is as much about bonding over shared confusion as it is about the words themselves. The real secret? Just smile, nod, and hope for the best. Next section, ladies lingo, the secret language of women. The elusive ladies lingo, a secret language so cryptic that even Google Translate throws up its virtual hands in defeat. For centuries, women have developed a rich tapestry of slang that could make even the most seasoned cryptographer sweat. From the days of flapper dresses and jazz to the age of social media influencers, women have always had a knack for creating terms that are as colorful as a peacock strutting its stuff. Who knew that spill the tea didn't involve actual tea, but was more about the juicy gossip that could make even the most stoic of grandmothers clutch their pearls? Take the word basic, for instance. It started as a harmless descriptor for someone with a wardrobe full of Ugg boots and pumpkin spice lattes. However, it has evolved into a full-blown cultural critique. If you hear a woman saying, "she's so basic," you can bet your bottom dollar that they're not just talking about someone's choice of footwear. No, they're calling out an entire lifestyle choice that's as predictable as a rom-com plot twist. The beauty of this term is how it effortlessly slices through the small talk and gets straight to the heart of the matter, like a hot knife through butter, or perhaps more accurately, like a well-aimed eye roll at a brunch table. Now, let's not overlook the phenomenon of girl code, a slang term that transcends generations and serves as the ultimate unspoken agreement among women. It's like a secret handshake, but instead of a physical gesture, it's a collection of rules that dictate everything from which boyfriends are off limits to the appropriate response when someone asks, "Do I look good in this?" If a woman breaks girl code, it's akin to committing treason. The rest of the squad will swiftly provide a collective gasp, followed by a series of side-eye glances that could scale Mount Everest in intensity. It's a language that, when spoken, resonates with a universal understanding, making it clear that women are as much a sisterhood as they are individuals. When you delve into the historical evolution of women's slang, you find a delightful mix of rebellion and resourcefulness. Women have used slang not just to communicate, but as a means of empowerment. Terms like badass and boss babe have emerged from the underground, showcasing a shift in how women see themselves and wish to be seen. These terms are not just a way to describe a fierce attitude, they're battle cries in a world that has often tried to box women into tidy little categories. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to be a badass while sipping their green tea and discussing the latest Netflix documentary? As we wrap up this exploration of ladies' lingo, it's clear that this secret language is anything but mundane. It's a vibrant, ever-evolving lexicon that reflects the changing tides of society, culture, and of course, the whims of women. So, next time you hear a group of women chattering away, don't just eavesdrop, embrace the chaos and humor of their slang. Because in the end, whether it's about serving looks, spilling tea, or breaking girl code, ladies' lingo is here to stay, and it's packed with enough sass to keep anyone on their toes. Section 3. When slang gets sassy. Gender and the art of insulting. In the colorful world of slang, insults have always held a special place, particularly when they come wrapped in a gendered bow. Picture this, a group of friends bantering back and forth, each trying to outdo the other with the most cleverly crafted put-down. While anyone can hurl a generic insult, the truly artful practitioners of this craft know that the secret ingredient often lies in the gendered nuances of slang. Men might throw around words like knucklehead with a chuckle, while women might prefer a more elegant jab like silly goose. It's as if we're all participating in an unspoken competition to see who can be the sassiest while still maintaining some semblance of decorum. All that sounds rather archaic to me. Knucklehead and silly goose sounds like 1940s slang, maybe 1950s, maybe, but probably earlier than that, actually. So whatever, I guess we're examining the history of slang, so that's fair. Paragraph 2. Historically, the art of insulting has evolved in tandem with societal norms, especially regarding gender roles. In earlier centuries, women were often relegated to a quieter role, but oh, how the tables have turned. With the rise of the feminist movement, women became empowered to unleash a whole new arsenal of witty barbs. No longer confined to polite, genteel jibes, women embraced a more flamboyant style of repartee. The term mean girl didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was a culmination of centuries of pent-up sass waiting to be unleashed upon the unsuspecting. Meanwhile, men in their traditional bravado often resorted to the classic man-up insults, oblivious to the fact that their attempts at masculinity could be just as hilarious when they backfire. As the years rolled on, the lexicon of insults tailored for each gender began to take on a life of its own. The gender differences in slang are not only amusing, but also reveal much about social expectations. For instance, a man who calls another man a wimp is merely tapping into the age-old tradition of toughening each other up. Conversely, a woman might call her friend a hot mess with a wink, both acknowledging the chaos and celebrating the camaraderie. These insults reveal more than just the cleverness of the speaker. They also reflect the intricate dance of gender dynamics in our everyday lives. That said, let's not forget the delightful absurdity that comes from crossing these gender lines. Imagine a man trying to deliver a cutting remark traditionally reserved for women, like bless your heart, only to discover that it lacks the same punch when uttered in a deep baritone. Conversely, women adopting classic male insults such as "you're such a tool" can pack quite the comedic punch. This delightful role reversal not only highlights the absurdity of gendered language, but also showcases the sheer joy of slang as it evolves in the hands of its users. Final paragraph. In the end, when slang gets sassy, it's all about context, creativity, and a healthy dose of humor. Insulting, while not the most noble of pastimes, serves as a vital social function, providing laughter, bonding, and sometimes even a bit of drama. The next time you find yourself caught in a verbal spar, remember the rich history of gendered slang and how it has shaped our exchanges. Whether you're wielding a sharp quip or a playful jab, remember that the art of insulting is as much about connection as it is about cleverness. So embrace the sass and let your words dance. And that's the end of this section. Next up is Chapter 5, Regional Slang, a tour of the weird and wacky. First section, American slang from coast to coast. And that being said, I really need to get back to international slang. And I will say, again, I prompted AI to generate this script, and it's a little square, I guess, colloquial. I don't like it that well, but it's a writing partner, and it gives me something to work from. So now I can go back through and change this, which is kind of what I'm doing in my commentary after the fact. The only way I could get myself to really read it is to read with a purpose, the purpose being making this video. So this is how I'm reviewing the script that AI generated for me so I can modify it. So look for an actual book coming after these precipitory videos, I guess you could call them. So peach up, talk to you soon.